When Jesus took the bread and blessed it, and when he took the cup and blessed it, this cup is the new covenant in my blood in Luke 22, he established a new covenantal order. So when Jesus institutes the Eucharist, he also institutes with it the sacrament of holy orders. He establishes the sacrifice of the new covenant, and alongside it, the priesthood that would offer the sacrifice of the new covenant. And in this context, he definitively brings about a true link between the sacraments of the new covenant. And that word sacrament is going to come into play here. So I ask you to just follow me and try to pay attention to the term as much as possible. What's the relationship, therefore, between these words sacrament and covenant? We've been going through this entire series for over a year now. The word covenant, the Hebrew word berit, the Greek word diatheke, all translate, and the Latin word testamentum, all translate into the English word covenant. A covenant is a vowed exchange of lives through which, especially in Scripture, God fathers his creation as his own. God espouses creation as his bride. God exchanges his life with us that we may exchange our lives with him. So this is the fundamental understanding of covenant. And this allows us to discover a deeper reality to our sacramental living. And I'll explain this to you in this way. All of the covenants that God established throughout sacred scripture came with sacraments that had to be attached to them. And yes, sacraments did exist in the Old Testament, just not as we understand them today. We call them Old Testament sacraments or Old Law sacraments because they were methods of oath swearing, liturgical renewals of covenant making and covenant renewing. This sacramental reality of the continued liturgical practice of the Old Covenant was how covenant life with God was renewed by the faithful who profess the covenant. And we see this all the way with Adam and Eve. In Judaic literature, we see how God performs the first blood sacrifice so that Adam and Eve may be clothed. And thereby, what Judaic literature has always held is that God taught them how to perform the first covenant sacrifice. And from that point on, blood sacrifice would be a central theme in the covenant narrative. So when we take a look at what God does on the seventh day of creation in covenanting Adam and Eve to himself, we are told that in the Gospel of Luke, Christ is the Son of God. Adam is the Son of God, and Christ is the Son of God. These two realities of Son of God portray to us that covenant living establishes family bonds. We truly become, by means of covenant adoption, children of the Father. And this is why it is proper to say Adam is a child of God, a son of God. And we are sons and daughters of God in the way that Jesus Christ isn't, because Jesus Christ is eternally Son of the Father. But in his created human nature, Jesus enters into covenant with us so that we might enter into familial bond, into this filial bond with God. This intimate, unbroken, familial relationship, this covenant bond, is established by Christ and renewed across the centuries by means of the sacraments. So as God, our holy, benevolent, loving Father, continues to father us as children by means of the overarching covenant bond, whenever we break it, he creates ways in which you and I can come back into covenant fidelity with him. God established covenants with Noah and Abraham and Moses and David and through Christ, because God has been expanding his covenantal family. And central to the expansion of this covenantal family has always been covenant making by means of oath swearing. And the swearing of oaths typically involved the sacrifice of blood. In the Canticle of Zechariah, for example, if we look at Luke chapter 2, verses 72 to 73, God promises to be mindful of his holy covenant, the oath that he swore to Abraham our father. This oath swearing, this blood sacrifice that connotes oath swearing, was typically done by means of a ritual. And it is this ritual that we want to pay attention to. The amazing thing is when God swears an oath, God binds himself to us, his children, forever. And because God is eternal, the oath that God binds himself to has an eternal bearing.